Welcome back to the West Coast Railway Heritage Park. I'm your Sea to Sky host, Nicole Fitzgerald, joined by my co-host today, Thomas the Tank Engine, and you're watching The Express. Physiotherapy. Every town has it. Only in Whistler, it's being peddled out in a new direction.
Oh, hi there. Welcome to Peak Performance.
Thank you. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, nice to see you. How are you doing today?
I'm a regular here at Peak Performance Physiotherapy in Whistler. Ribs out, neck kinked, there's always something to tinker with. But what I soon realized in my excitement for Whistler's mountain biking season, that I wasn't the one in need of alignment.
It seems odd, and even people being trained are kind of like, what's going on? Like, why? What do I hear, that whirring sound on the trainer? Hi, Nicole.
Hi. Nice to see you. We'll get started with the off-bike part of the bike fit assessment.
Physiotherapy for your bike. It's a new way of approaching your pedals. Bike fitting has been on World Cup circuits and in top-end bike shops for decades, but this bike fitting approach begins on a physiotherapy table. It starts with you, your injuries, your body type, and your goals.
It's not just a general kind of, you're this tall, go onto the bike, but it's more so what brings you into biking, what goals do you have, so what position do we need you in? So I look at their body, how they move, and then put it onto their bike so that the bike can actually mirror that as well.
Treating a community that revolves around bikes, physiotherapist Megan Curl began to connect the dots when client injuries wouldn't recover. No matter how many times she adjusted a back, once placed in a poor body position, the problem returned.
If we think about with biking, a typical cadence is about 90 RPM when you're on a road bike. If you go for about an hour, each leg is going about 5,400 revolutions. So that's a lot of repetition. So we try to prevent those kind of injuries from that repetitive nature of biking.
Things as simple as marking a purple X just below the knee and then lining up lasers can determine whether a knee's movements are tracking properly or not. Corrections are often minor, but I was surprised by how a small adjustment like the position of your saddle could have such a big impact.
Okay, do you want to just hop back on and see how that feels?
Sure.
It's going to be way more efficient because you're going to be actually pushing through the strongest part of that cycle through your body.
I can't believe what a difference that makes. It actually feels a lot easier.
Yeah. You're not kind of overstretching or you're not too cramped up. You're going to be in that kind of optimal position on your body.
Whether clients are recreational mountain bikers or triathlon athletes powering a road bike, adjustments cover everything from comfort to performance, all ultimately translating to more time for clients on their bikes.
15 minutes and their back was sore, but after doing a bike fit with relatively minimal changes, able to tolerate 2.5 hours with no problem. So if you're even thinking that your bike isn't comfortable, then get in here and we'll measure it up and make sure that we're fitting you to your bike.
And your bike to you. From Whistler, I'm Nicole Fitzgerald for Shaw TV.
A bike fitting takes about 2 hours and it's billed the same way a physiotherapy appointment is. So if you have extended medical, you're covered. Next up, we visit a West Coast Vancouver home. It feels more like a trip to an art gallery. This $5 million masterpiece uses some of the most expensive wood and stone in the world.
Capital Direct Dream Homes on Shaw TV is brought to you by Capital Direct at capitaldirect.ca.
From the trendy seaside boutiques and restaurants to the stunning views high atop the North Shore Mountains, this is one of Canada's most exclusive postal codes, especially when your average home sells for more than $2 million. Today we're in the city of West Vancouver to check out a quintessential 21st century home.
Great to see you.
Great to see you. Glad you could make it.
Glad to be here. I mean, this place looks like a museum of fine art or something.
It's built to a standard you rarely come across. Incredible materials, solid as a rock. This place really stands out.
I gotta see it for myself.
Let's go.
It's a 3,800 square foot designer home with spectacular views of the ocean. From the solid steel and concrete structure to the high-tech home integration system, this house can only be described as a modern masterpiece.
The actual builder was the same builder who did the Shangri-La in Vancouver. So we've got the same exquisite finishing, those high-end materials used throughout.
Nowhere is that better exemplified than the gorgeous open-air style kitchen, with gigantic aluminum windows, heated marble flooring, and super stylish furnishings.
We've got custom cabinetry. It's all done with zebra wood, which is very exclusive, rare to find. Miele appliances, you've got your espresso machine, your hidden refrigerator, high quality woods, stone, and to top it off, you've got carbon Kevlar taps. You're not going to find this anywhere else.
Even the garage is cutting edge, built of solid concrete with a roof that's unique to say the least.
The roof is a green roof with a water feature clad in slate and a recirculating pump, so you hear the sound of water throughout the home. And you really get that feeling of being totally immersed in a private nature paradise.
Back inside, it's teak, and more teak, an exotic Asian hardwood renowned for its look, texture, and durability.
So from the flooring to the walls, even the banisters here.
Custom banister, solid teak decking on the stairs as well. And it's the same high-end commercial grade that you're going to find in high-end hotels such as Shangri-La.
Great. Well, let's head upstairs and see more.
Let's check it out.
Every blind in this house is motorized and can be raised and lowered through the Control 4 home automation system. It's basically a computer system wired throughout the house, which allows you to control the locks, TV, lights, and more using the home console or mobile app. The master suite leaves nothing to be desired. It has more of the same elegant yet natural-looking hardwood, huge windows, and an ensuite that's just exquisite top to bottom.
Lots of imported Carrara marble from Italy, and this incredible freestanding soaker tub. You can sit in there, enjoy, relax with a glass of wine, and look out to the beautiful views.
Beautiful indeed, especially from the spacious 300-square-foot glass enclosed deck, where you can experience all the natural beauty of the West Coast.
Tim, take a look at this view.
Wow, this is 180 degrees of beauty.
It's incredible. We've got Lionsgate Bridge, Kitsilano, UBC, and of course, Vancouver Island. Completely unobstructed views.
Made by a world-renowned builder and with some of the finest materials money can buy, this is truly a 21st century luxury home. I'm your host, Tim Chung, and join me next time on Dream Homes.
Capital Direct Dream Homes has been brought to you by Capital Direct at capitaldirect.ca.
Looking to get into the $1 million market? You can find out more information at thevilas.com. Well, join us and clickety-clack down the track with Thomas the Tank Engine this weekend at the West Coast Railway Heritage Park. The Express, you'll only find it here on Shaw TV. And we have more stories coming up.
It's such a spectacular monument.
After the break, head out to Vancouver Island for this historical trip.
Nicole Fitzgerald's clothing provided by Peak Performance. Ski gear provided by Nordica. Hairstyling by The Loft Salon. Makeup by Beauty Mark. Parking provided by the Fire Rock Lounge.
Welcome back to the Express on Shaw TV. I'm your Sea to Sky host, Nicole Fitzgerald. There's something thrilling about being on a train. The history, the stories, the tracks. This week's road trip takes us on a historic one, only minutes away from Victoria on Vancouver Island.
Travel along with us as we explore the many marvelous attractions and activities of beautiful British Columbia on the Quality Assured Collision Road Trip.
On a crystal clear day, the scenic views from the Malahat Highway are truly hard to put into words. Lush rolling hills and snow-capped mountains greet locals and visitors who stop to take a look. The Malahat Highway on South Vancouver Island is part of the Trans-Canada Highway and is a necessity for locals who need to get around. But it's also a must-see for anyone visiting the island, like these friendly Australians who we couldn't resist helping out with a photo or two.
Okay, 1, 2,
And after you travel over the Malahat Highway, about an hour north of Victoria, you'll discover one of the most beautiful and historic gems in all of Canada.
Herculean in its scale. It's a very big structure, and when we began, we didn't really have a clear idea of how the work could be accomplished. We had to feel our way into it.
Nearly 1 year after celebrating the survival and revival of one of the island's most treasured pieces of history, the Kinsle Tressle in the Cowichan Valley is once again accepting passengers, minus the iron horse that carries them. The trestle dates back to 1920, when forestry was expanding on the island and railways were key to transporting old-growth timber. But the last train crossed the trestle in 1979, and over the years it deteriorated to the point where it became too much of a liability, and the provincial government cut off access to the trestle, so all you could really do was stand there and look at it.
When we first came out here, the structure was very precarious and almost a derelict state. On its last legs, really.
But there was a handful of people, including Gord MacDonald, who had a suspicion that the trestle could be saved. And in 2006, a plan was underway to do just that. MacDonald says it was a cast of many and says his team worked 31,000 person-hours over a year and a half rebuilding the trestle. Now he stands here with an overwhelming feeling of pride.
Structure is a real treasure locally in the valley. It's kind of a hidden secret, really. But in the world of timber structures, it's a gem. This is one of the largest timber structures in the world, certainly the largest structure of its kind in Canada.
The Kinsle Tressle is one of 8 trestles along a 70-kilometer stretch of the Cowichan Valley Trail. It's 614 feet long and stands 145 feet above the Coxsila River, and it sure is something to see.
It's amazing and so nice to see a part of history back with us.
It was better that we preserved it and everything, just because it's like so old and we don't really have many of these around.
The Kinsle Tressle is near the south end of the Cowichan Valley Trail, which runs from Shawnigan Lake northwest to Lake Cowichan. You can jump on the trail from a number of locations along the route, and the scenery changes depending on where you are.
It varies from going through areas like Glenora, where it's farmland and vineyards, and then all of a sudden you're crossing a couple of trestles over rivers and creeks as you get closer to the Cowichan River, and then all of a sudden it's you're in forest and a couple of provincial parks.
And although the trestle has been open for less than a year, it's already attracting more walkers, cyclists, and horseback riders to the trail, which is part of the Trans-Canada Trail.
There's 5 major visitor centers in Cowichan, and they're all kind of reporting that there are people asking and coming specifically to visit this trestle because it's such a spectacular monument.
And Barry says the trail and trestle are also helping to put more life into cultural and heritage-based tourism. Chances are one visit to this trestle won't be enough. A tribute to a small group of people whose passion to preserve history has given Vancouver Island something to be proud of. From the Cowichan Valley for Shaw TV, I'm Nikki Ewanyshyn.
Entertaining and informative, the Quality Assured Collision Road Trip. Weekends on Shaw TV. Always something new and exciting.
The Cowichan Valley Trail will eventually link up to the famous Galloping Goose Trail. They're only a kilometer apart. The goal is to have the trail finished within the next couple of years. Trains. We can't get enough of them here at the West Coast Railway Heritage Park. It's just one of many adventures in the sea to sky.
Radar's Quality Assured Collisions FYI is presented by Radar's Quality Assured Collision, an ICBC Valet accredited repair facility.
The test of mettle is legendary. 1,000 riders conquer a 67-kilometer course comprised of killer single track and gruesome climbs, with thousands upon thousands of spectators cheering them on. The start line kicks off at Brennan Park in Squamish. What happens when you combine a guitar, piano, accordion, mandolin, and vocals? You've got a night of live music with Juno Award-winning singer-songwriter Sherry Ulrich and friends, June 23rd at the Brackendale Art Gallery. Enjoy an afternoon of appies, auction, and live music from award-winning musician Chad Oliver. All proceeds from this Raise the Roof fundraiser benefit the Whistler Adaptive Sports Program and Habitat for Humanity.
Radar's Quality Assured Collisions FYI was presented by Radar's Quality Assured Collision.
These trains make you feel like a kid again. The West Coast Railway Heritage Park is open daily from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's that time in the show again for our ticket giveaway, a family 4-pack to a day out with Thomas. Just tell me why you love trains and send it to nicole.fitzgerald@sjrb.ca. From all of us on The Express, thanks for watching, and we'll leave you with a few more scenes from the West Coast Railway Heritage Park.